It's a very nifty little site. I just hit my keyboard. Fortunately, I finished talking right before that, so I don't have to do too much editing.
It's a very nifty little site. Let me just yeet my keyboard across the room.
Welingati kame ma frappo, and welcome to the Eana Mokri podcast. The year is October 2010. Rumors are abound of an Avatar 2 coming in 2014. 4 years seems like a long wait, but it's coming off the heels of one of the biggest blockbusters in cinema history. Of course we can wait. August 2013. Avatar 4 is confirmed. However, the release dates have been pushed ahead yet again another 2 years, December 2016. January 2015, a delay due to a very involved writing process pushes Avatar 2 to late 2017. April 2016, Avatar 5 is announced, and release dates are again pushed back, this time to December 2018. April 2017, Avatar 2 pushed to an official release date of December 18th, 2020. May 2019, more delays. Then the date is then pushed back and announced suddenly on Twitter to be December 17th, 2021. A year delay, but who's counting? Fast forward to earlier this week, July of 2020, the longest year. And again, the sequels have been delayed with a suspected release date of 2022. December 16th, 2022. With staggering releases every 2 years. I'm Pomerik, and this is Eana Mokri. Here with me to break down this news is Awe and Willem. Alright, I'm gonna give up the little news reporter shtick. But yes, there have been more Avatar delays, and as anybody who has existed in the world in this year can tell you, COVID has caused a lot of things to go off of schedule, and Avatar is now no exception. We had previously gotten word that things are progressing smoothly, however, the announcement went out earlier this week that delays would be happening, along with a bunch of other delays for other films in the Disney family, as you will.
Yeah. Even the live action Mulan that was supposed to come out is basically, they don't know when it's coming out now.
Right. So, veteran fans are absolutely used to these kind of delays, and I don't really know what there is to say other than, yeah, maybe these movies will come out someday.
For those of you playing the drinking game at home,
those who are playing the drinking game at home are now dead from alcohol poisoning.
yeah, I was gonna say.
Well, I mean, it's like one shot every year, right?
Yeah, well, one shot, yeah, exactly. It's been pretty spaced out.
Yeah. It's really, it's Everclear shots. It's really strong shots.
That shit'll knock you into next Tuesday. Or at least until the next
year.
Avatar delay.
Right. But no, I was going to say, I think most of us, honestly, were kind of expecting this to come out because almost everything was getting delayed.
Yeah.
For everything else. And it's like, I feel like Avatar 2 kind of had a pretty compressed production schedule, trying to get it made and everything as soon as possible. I mean, there's no way that they're not coming out. They've shot everything.
Yeah.
But I would rather they delay it than try to rush it again.
Absolutely. And I'm very much in that camp where I would rather have a great thing delayed than a great thing rushed and made worse. For those who are not like nose deep in all of the tidbits of news, the mocap for at least 2 and 3 have been done and wrapped up long ago. Towards the end of 2019, it was confirmed that the mocap is basically done, and they're moving on to live action filming, and that is what got interrupted by the pandemic. Again, they were doing simultaneous shooting for multiple sequels. I believe there's actually some mocap or even some live action possibly done for movies 4 and 5, though we know that they are currently focused on 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the mocap work from Weta was continuing to be worked on during the pandemic. We did get updates, and I said during the pandemic, during the ongoing pandemic, but like, you know, when things were in lockdown, we did know that they were working remotely on processing, doing the post-processing and, you know, CGI stuff that they need to do on the mocap. The thing is, if you've ever seen behind the scenes on Avatar films, there's a lot of green screening and a lot of extra things that needed to be added. And that's just the nature of this type of project.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of computing power.
Yeah.
One thing that I find interesting is that basically for the last delay we had last year, about which I also remember we made an episode.
Yeah.
Basically, our conclusion back then was that it was also because, like, you know, there was this, like, Disney took over the studio, and that was probably one of the reasons they delayed.
Yes.
But right now they have like a COVID delay, which is, like, I'm assuming not going to be more than a year.
Mm-hmm.
But they still have to delay a year more, and that basically implies that the delay they had last year was already because they're not going to make it. At least that was my idea about this.
So I have a conspiracy theory. So I have a theory that the Avatar films possibly did not need to be delayed an extra year. The issue is they want to release Avatar and Star Wars films on alternating years.
Right.
And as a holiday movie. And we're going to get a spoiler, we're going to get a Star Wars before we're going to get an Avatar. But the Star Wars film was definitely impacted. And rather than break from the schedule, they're like, what if we took the schedule and moved it a year ahead?
Yeah.
How are they impacted? Half their filming happens in the middle of a desert. in Tunisia.
Look, first of all, I never implied that this conspiracy theory makes any sense. 2, there's still massive gatherings of film crew.
Yeah. No, I'm just poking fun. But that's not a bad that's not a bad theory, though, to be honest. It wouldn't shock me if that was at least partially the case.
And the only reason I'm clinging to this idea, and I know you can take this and throw it, you know, a couple of yards, but like, we got word from the production crew not a few weeks ago that I believe from James Cameron, either that or John Lando, I can't remember, that things are progressing smoothly and that like there shouldn't be any delays due to COVID. And like, this was within a month. I know time is very flexible in shape right now, but I'm almost certain that we got that bit of news or that quote like a month ago. And I don't know how much changes in a month. I know the world is a rapidly evolving place, but I have a feeling that they would be fine with releasing Avatar 2 at the originally projected date, but
which means 2020 or 2021?
2021.
21.
Which is still a reminder, not this December, but a year from this December.
Yeah, so not the original release date, but like the delayed one after last year's delay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Got you.
Like, even in even in 2008, when they were wrapping up, actually, yeah, no, Avatar the First wrapped up in early 2009, I believe. They were doing the last bits of live action, like, cleanup. I want to say in, like, March or so. And, I mean, they had obviously been working on mocap and everything prior to that. The pipeline's relatively similar. And they were able to wrap that up within the span of a year. Now, I'm in game development. I'm not going to advocate for crunch time, but they have a large window to work with. Like, they have a larger window to work with now than they did before.
Mm-hmm.
And that window has now been expanded. And the last time we got a schedule adjustment, that was around the time the Disney acquisition happened. Schedule adjustment happened, and alongside a bunch of Star Wars films that were just so happened to line up in staggering years with Avatar films.
Yeah, I completely believe your conspiracy theory in that aspect, that it seems obvious to me that Star Wars has something to do with it. In the sense that they obviously don't want to release them simultaneously, so they have to go, like, interchange. What happened here exactly, I don't know. I mean, if you look at the past delay schedule of Avatar 2 in particular, and I think of any movie, time is, as you're saying, always very flexible. And I wouldn't be even surprised if they said last month, like, no delay is expected at all, and now they would need delay suddenly because there was some unexpected issue. But I mostly do believe that it is probably also about Star Wars here.
Imagine having a intellectual property with such cultural gravity that everything else warps around it.
Yeah, great. I mean, that's going to be Avatar 5, 6, 7.
Yes.
I mean, at least Avatar is still, like, fresh in that sense. Like, it's the first sequel, and Star Wars is, like, how many sequels is now?
Yes. The answer is yes.
The only answer possible.
Are we talking about, like, main entries or expanded universe? Like,
I have never seen Star Wars. How would I know?
That's the thing. I full confession, I really haven't either. But I've seen, like, 1.5 Star Wars films. But from what I understand, there's there's new storylines that, like, are 3 movies long each time, and so they keep having, like, new trilogies. So if you don't like one, then, wait 4 movies.
But I mean, that must get boring at some point, right?
Much like Avatar, it's a universe. They keep bringing in the same characters, but, like, it's, from what I understand, the draw of the Star Wars fandom is the world in which it takes place.
Sure.
A lot of it is that, yeah.
I mean, assume that, like, in 2070 or something, Avatar 17 comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you be bored with it? Like, even as an Avatar fan, at some point...
I won't be alive then.
Potentially.
Avatar 17. Let's focus on getting the first 4 out. But yeah, it's part of it is that the original series of episodes, they're made into 3 episode chunks that each one tells a cohesive story. So really, it's 3 stories. They all build off of each other and are direct sequels to each other. And then there's a couple of films that kind of intersperse within, a couple of TV series that flesh the world out a little bit more. But it's kind of the same draw. Like Pam was saying, it's the world is pretty extensive and has its own mythology built in and everything.
Right.
And I'm nowhere near as deeply involved in it as with the Avatar fandom or anything, but
yes, to the point where recording this on July 25th, 2020, can hear you, audience member in the future, banging your head about listening to these nerds who know nothing about Star Wars talk about this thing that you know about. I hear you. Please stop. We'll stop too.
I could go on about fan theories, but wrong podcast. So
one other thing I would like to discuss about the delay. So we had last year this rumor, or like for example the Amazon listing for the High Ground.
Yeah.
The comic series. It was like a spin-off, and then it got like posted to Amazon for like release, I believe, this year, January or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got just dropped off after a few days.
Yep.
And we speculated it was because they wanted to release this thing later, closer to the release date of the movie. So do we think this also means that it will be delayed again? Like it didn't have a release date, but I was assuming like 1 year later.
Oh yes. So one thing, the social media accounts for Avatar obviously have been the means by which we've found out about this news, but they've been interacting with some of the responses, and they haven't backed down on the idea that there's going to be more Avatar stuff between now and when the sequels actually arrive. So I have no doubt in my mind that the High Ground is in their plans for leading up to the sequel. As to when that happens, who knows? But I have a feeling that it's basically done, and they're just sitting on it.
Yeah, I think it would kind of make sense to maybe even release it like next year or something to start building hype, because
that would be cool.
I'm just hoping, of course, but I'm saying, like, if you're listening, someone on the crew, it would make total sense to release it soon to start building hype towards Avatar 2, which has been delayed, which is unfortunate. But by releasing the comic now, you can redeem yourself. Okay, I will just stop talking.
Okay, if I'm being totally honest, I don't know how much releasing the High Ground would actually build hype for the Avatar sequels. Remember Tsu'tey's Path? And how much do you think that actually like meaningfully affected how tuned into the world of Avatar people are?
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I loved it. As an existing and awake and aware of all things Avatar fan, I loved it. And it was awesome, and I'd love to see more of that. But from a strictly marketing, hype-building perspective, I don't know how much that would actually do. And it pains me to say that.
Yeah, Reginald Pemorick makes total sense, as always.
He's a freaking jerk.
Way too much sense, again.
Alternative conspiracy theory.
Okay, I love these.
They pushed it back another year, not because of Star Wars, but because they don't think that this is going to end by December, and they want to re-release Avatar 1 in theaters. The year before Avatar 2 comes out.
The year before?
That'd be cool.
It's a normal thing to do. Like, I would love it because I've never seen Avatar in a theater, so I would want to get the actual 3D experience. But do they do this a year before it? I mean, I remember that sometimes they do this like the week before or something, so that you can like build up to it. But,
yeah.
Remember, those are movies like, we're talking like Harry Potter or Star Wars, or like the ones that have basically churned out sequels pretty consistently.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't shock me if they put it in theaters for a little while the year before, and then maybe did another run closer to it.
I'd take it.
Same here.
I've seen the movie dozens of times, and I'd watch it in theaters again, especially if 3D is offered, because I only ever saw it in 2D.
I mean, why would they not offer 3D? That's the point, right? I mean,
I couldn't tell you.
If they do it in 2D, you can just watch the Blu-ray at home, right? I mean, yes, there's a cinema experience, but I mean, for me, this selling point of the movie was, like, obviously in parts, like a technical development and 3D. So if they would bring it, like, re-release it in 2D in movies, I think that makes zero sense.
If I'm honest, the selling point when I originally saw Avatar was, it's a sci-fi movie with Sigourney Weaver in it. I'm in.
Sold.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who's like not into pop culture at all, I don't know Sigourney Weaver except that she's like Dr. Khaleesi. That's it.
Got it. She was in a film that defined my teenage years, Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, I mean,
She's also an Alien, which is probably one of her most famous roles.
Yes, she's had many famous roles, but
Yeah, and she's, if I remember correctly, she's notoriously hard to get to work on a film. At least that's what I've heard.
I don't really have anything to add to that because I don't know.
That's what I've heard. It may be false. Don't take that with like a 2-pound chunk of salt.
She's got the acting chops to be choosy when it comes to what roles she accepts.
Oh, absolutely. Although, let's be honest, aside from Avatar, her best role is probably in Galaxy Quest. If you've never seen Galaxy Quest,
yes,
go watch Galaxy Quest.
Do I look like somebody who watches movies?
Yes.
Do I sound like someone who watches movies? So I mean, anyway, you were our science correspondent. Maybe you should just become our pop culture correspondent because you're clearly the most knowledgeable.
We just spent 10 minutes talking about how basically none of us have seen a Star Wars film.
Oh, damn, you right.
Wow, is this an interesting episode?
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything else to say about the delays?
I mean, we can keep on ranting, but I think we have to accept it. There's nothing we can do. And, like, I mean, the perfectionist that James Cameron is, it will probably only become better because, I mean, I'm a bit of a perfectionist myself, and I always fill the time until deadlines to make stuff better. So if he gets a free extra year to work on stuff, I'm sure that they will make it only better.
Yes. As salty as I sound about this, and I partially am, I have no doubt in my mind that the delay will ultimately make Avatar 2 and or 3 a better film. And even if it's not in ways that are directly involved with the film, perhaps they have more time to develop cool secondary tie-in media, or there's so many different ways that more time can add to the quality of a piece of art. And I have no doubt in my mind that James Cameron is somebody who's not just going to sit on their ass given time. He's going to keep creating things, and they're going to be amazing. And the price of that is waiting a lot. Sometimes more than anticipated.
Friendly reminder that, as far as I'm aware, he's one of the only people that I've ever seen convince a movie company to shell out more money for a movie that's already out so it can be released again. Like a notable amount of money that has to be included in the budget of the full film.
Wait, I'm missing the story there. What was it about?
When Avatar first came out, it was one cut, and then they did the extended edition re-release, and none of that stuff was finished, so he convinced Fox to basically give him more money to let the people work on these other scenes and get them finished.
Oh, wow. I thought actually many scenes are not finished in the extended version.
Well, even then, there's the collector's extended edition, which has even more stuff was added in farther from the theatrical extended edition. And
Right.
all of that had to be rendered and cut and edited and added in. And he convinced Fox to give him more money so that he could do that for a film that, for all intents and purposes, had already basically paid for itself.
Many times over.
Yeah, slightly.
Enough to the point where we're talking about it today.
Exactly.
So, in other things, Avatar, as we are known to talk about on this podcast, there is a new community resource, real new community, I guess, straight up, in the Avatar fandom. Is kelutral.org. It is a website aimed at creating a modernized learnna'vi learning experience. There's a new Discord as well. And all there really is to say on the matter is that more resources are always good.
Yeah.
I can say personally, somebody kind of like worked on it a little bit. My learnna'vi courses, learnna'vi as a second language, have been ported over to this website, which is awesome for me because I don't have to work off of a laggy Google document anymore. And more people can access it. Like, if you ask somebody, how do you find learnna'vi as a second language? It's like, I don't know. You either go on a Discord that links you to a Google document, or you find one of my YouTube videos that links you to a Google document. And it's like, it's nice to finally have a real web presence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so too. I also think it looks really nice. It's very usable.
So yeah. So come on over to kelutral.org and check it out. It's a very nifty little site. So with all the new segments out of the way, we're going to move on to our final usual segment, learnna'vi conversation practice. It's been a while, so we're going to be rusty, like more so than usual. We're going to make mistakes, but we're here to practice, and hopefully this is of use to our audience as well. Given the nature of, I'm gesturing at everything, but this is an audio show, we're going to go with our word prompt of Wiya, which is an interjection. Basically, damn it.
Yep.
An expression of warning or frustration. Wiya.
Wiya, qu'est-ce que nous verrons fois eywa'eveng ul?
Wiya.
Ngay. Luhase.
Tsaf manul weti stekoli sla zeneaunga pive.
Le'na'vi.
Ha
Ko lekivatem.
ha awe var pive.
Ma menga pefia menga tsu'tey san Wiya sig.
Ewe san Wiya.
Strane. Oe kolano san pelun. Kolan mur fois kosene pivein ul unilterantok teri. Isle laia sifkeito. Pelun menga tsu'tey san Wiya sig.
Fifth mansreka, ja.
Strane, fifth maun strane, sle laia fmaun fu laia difmeto.
Frafmaun.
Frafmaun.
Kifke.
Fra olu fet ne au.
Strane. Fraukezo.
Fekifke dolerko.
Sespin pak.
Strane.
Strane.
Fifkifke peraron.
Kesuleno pivaum. Ngait oa. Haia pivaum tsu'tey.
Hitsing alu Georgia pak.
Peu?
Fitsing alu Massachusetts dam. Ni dam ni.
Hitsing alu Atlanta pak.
Buck.
Pak.
Buck.
Pak pak pak.
Dang oeng.
Yeah.
What's a kemkasi?
Danker.
Menga a kemsi.
Kehe,
Oef mi pivelt ane na'vi.
snake o lagi nga fe ut ma wilm.
Kehe. Fe kifke set hek ni it ha lu veru tekin a drutok sivi ni it.
Strane luangaru satekin anumen ul.
Ningai.
Tilsingai limu luweru se otang amip.
Ningai slag.
Strane
Lu befneut ang.
alveapum do au lusteng
Au.
au
Au. Frane. Solam.
pumamuve do 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 in lusteng
In.
strane in nga ai skesia ti
I sketchipit.
skesia ti nga
Sketchip. Ngalft ai leut ang esig.
smongaru liu alu in
Saulu otang strak.
kehe
In. Senes mi von veru. Set. Sle oe sene skrekeng CV. Ne ul. Alun da. Set gesmon veru.
dam
Anything.
Le upuk rut es rungsi veru. Aua sautje put.
dam
In.
strane in
Dam.
strane in nga
Frane.
ai ti
Setsolam. Frane.
strane
Slolam. C'est interessant. Ma c'est nga.
strane se ute eve
Frane.
niteng go reki de de sleiku pamti
Frane. Utetsal nga ai sketchipit ni tengsra.
kehe fipumor lu Irina
Slolam.
Irina tsau au
Atsau au.
au
Au asfaltje le upuk na kiveko. Au.
werpa au
Peu?
strane Wurpap au fi otang Eana lu
Srane.
Fte
Niveau pamit, srak.
Srane.
Slolam. Set slolam.
Down. Slolam set?
Srane. Skotsun. Srane. Skotsun. Eywa'eveng leNa'vi. Nelsan.
Srake ayune yul fi seslatsu di slolam.
Kaumum. Goed, maar ayunayu. Pamralsi.
Kolanwe dislatsu di slolam.
Srane. Ayunayu.
Srak.
Uhek. Nulewo pifelt esan ainumeyu. Sik sle.
Tsun
Sau lukateng.
Aum ayuneyu fra yuneyu numeyu.
Tsunslu fois fkeito kai sute aneo yvune ne auf maunit atari alalusik
Srane.
antok sle spilvel futa sai ayuneju setke junet lune
Srane.
livam
Fihap eti fall stem.
kaum spil san bam lì'fya fkan lor
Srane.
Mutta tafra lo neo nivume släkä neo ftivia tsalipjati taluna lungesik na haung sik Tsunslu kaumum
Srane. Kra numeul fi stetnipam di yerune perut perut sik. Kelu foru kolano sakr foru lu yayair.
Ja me au o tute o pamralsi pamralsi failuta Getslamwell dingta pelun pamerik sa pamseosi sakr omum futa tutel Getslam
Pamseo fu vatpam.
Zapam ulte sakr haunkr ne au vaart zapam seosivi
Sun poeng niveau pamseo di ausbeng. Srane. Ma Willem roko.
Kalt Ngarulu pom strak
Weruru pom. Naruto mat aue.
Rane.
Roll you at ansan oeng.
Defketungai Silpeoets ne kautu ketsolam fi ut
Tolang frappo 기분네.
다음, 가움스웨루 또 하세시비.
가움.
달루나 오케피아우프 벨로에 푸타 마우크르 오에 핵 네하운
쓰라네 홀렉.
핵네 울
홀렉. 홀렉.
아 위야
헤예. 하얏.
하이
하스약.
네프라커. 하스약.
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 에아나 모크리 아핵
라카르.
바누테시엥 아요에 페웃. 아요엘 페웃. 알루. För podcast hassiak.
Frane ute spelväl silpei oet sne aya junayu june taluna ayoe hack ni
Nessun kro Piven ko oeng deri unuterantok.
Frane släket franten
Sådär.
Get slawel taluna kauturu kautu kefpil futa unuterantok franten kefjak
Sådär. Suelit o IOL sahepet ivaku.
Frane taluna spelväl futa unuterantok to franten Star Wars
Sådär.
Fuck.
Suelit oi hasesivi för podcastet vår.
Frane hut
Damn.
Srane.
With that, we're gonna end the podcast.
Rekrut eftank.
Forever.
Right? Yeah, right.
So maybe it's the best, like we have this ending theme, right? So if
Yeah.
you can do the like it with the rhythm of the ending theme.
Oh yeah, sure. Wait, hold on. How it goes? Yeah, that's probably like 5 beats per minute off, and it's gonna sound terrible.
Actually, before we end the podcast, I have
Just did the ending jingle.
I have a little bit of an announcement.
Ooh.
I'll say it first, leNa'vi, and then I'll translate.
Okay.
Oe se yauntu Wiya munt a sasye.
Oh, Kosman.
Lirtoksi ewa mengaru.
Srane, mengaru alerto.
Sik alsinitran.
Srane.
Stunwi. And, in English for everybody else. Me and my girlfriend just got engaged a couple days ago. Actually, yesterday.
The passage of time is
Yeah.
meaningless.
Yeah?
Congratulations again.
Yeah, congratulations.
That's awesome.
Thanks. I wanted us to be the one of the first announcements.
we are honored that such an important announcement is made on Eana Mokri. All right, with that, we're going to wrap up the episode for real. Hei le'vai mafrapo.
Alavai.
Bye.